A heavy household power load suddenly kicks on, and the entire off-grid backup system instantly goes dark, leaving the utility room in complete blackness. When this happens, field technicians often assume the hardware failed. They check the inverter, see no AC output, and write it off as a blown unit. But the inverter usually works perfectly. It shut down because its direct current power source was suddenly severed without warning. The actual disconnect happens inside the battery. Modern lithium batteries use a battery management system, or BMS, to protect the cells from damage. Treating this power loss as a hardware failure leads installers to replace functional parts. To fix it, we have to look at how the inverter's programmed settings interact with the battery safety circuit. A LiFePO4 backup system consists of two separate computer systems working in tandem, the inverter and the battery's internal management hardware. The inverter's software logic and the battery's BMS must be explicitly programmed to communicate and agree on operational limits. If you leave them on default settings, they enter a race condition. Both controllers try to manage voltage thresholds simultaneously, resulting in hard system crashes. To guarantee backup reliability, the inverter software settings must be configured as a preemptive control layer. It has to act before the BMS ever needs to execute an emergency disconnection. System design requires establishing a clear hierarchy of rules between these two microcontrollers. The reason default settings fail comes down to the physical difference between how traditional lead-acid batteries and LiFePO4 batteries release energy. This graph shows a standard lead-acid discharge curve. Notice the steady, sloped downward trajectory. Plotting a LiFePO4 battery, the behavior changes completely. It maintains a highly stable, flat voltage plateau for 90% of its cycle before a steep drop-off. Because lithium chemistry holds this flat voltage, legacy lead-acid charging modes like equalization or prolonged float charging are completely incompatible. Applying an equalization charge forces a massive voltage spike. As the lithium curve is pushed rapidly out of its safe voltage envelope, it triggers a sudden overvoltage protection fault. Carrying over legacy charging profiles forces the BMS to actively sever the connection to protect cells, causing the exact type of outage the system was built to prevent. That same logic applies to the bottom of the discharge cycle, where undervoltage risks occur. The battery's internal BMS is designed to be a last resort emergency brake. It is not meant to be used as a daily operational power switch. Looking at the terminal drop on the chart, this red line is the absolute lowest voltage limit the hardware tolerates before cutting power. To prevent tripping, we set the inverter's low voltage disconnect above this threshold. During a safe shutdown sequence, the falling battery voltage hits that higher disconnect limit first. The inverter drops the alternating current loads, but keeps the DC connection alive. Programming this software buffer allows the inverter to gracefully manage a depleted battery. It sounds the alarms and preserves the DC bus for recovery, avoiding a total system crash. Even with the voltage limits perfectly programmed, massive invisible current demands can create physical stress that software cannot fix. This equation calculates the actual current drawn from the battery. Inverter input current equals the alternating current power load divided by the battery voltage multiplied by the inverter's efficiency. Let's apply a constant load of 2,000 watts, simulating heavy household appliances. If we run that 2,000 watt load on a 12-volt system, the battery has to push an enormous amount of current. Step the system up to 48 volts, and the required current drops by a factor of 4. Pushing hundreds of amps at low voltage generates extreme heat, causes energy loss, and puts heavy stress on the internal battery cell connections. Failing to step up the system's DC voltage architecture forces the battery into a physical bottleneck. It has to supply exponentially higher amperage, leading to inevitable failure under heavy loads. That extreme DC current demand interacts directly with the physical wiring, especially if the battery cables are undersized. High resistance in a cable creates voltage drop. The electrical pressure physically decreases as it travels from the battery to the inverter. This voltage drop blinds the inverter. The software reads a critically low voltage at the terminals and assumes the battery is empty, even if the cells are fully charged. Sudden power spikes, like a well pump starting, compound this by causing temporary internal cell voltage sag. This instantly drags the perceived voltage down to the emergency shutoff line. The combination of high DC current and significant voltage drop creates a false undervoltage reality. It tricks the internal systems into executing a hard crash long before the actual capacity is depleted. Eliminating these failures requires a disciplined approach during the physical commissioning of the backup power system. The system designer must extract the hard physical limits directly from the battery manufacturer's specification sheets, rather than relying on generic lithium profiles. These static hardware limits must be explicitly matched to their programmable counterparts within the inverter's software. This requires strict adherence to a configuration checklist. Disable equalization entirely, minimize float durations, cap the maximum charge current, and properly establish the low-voltage disconnect buffer. A properly configured inverter doesn't run on standard recommendations. It runs on the exact software translation of the battery's immutable physical limits. Let's revisit the blackout scenario, this time with a system properly configured with a dual controller hierarchy. When the heavy load kicks on and the battery depletes, the inverter preemptively sheds power and triggers its alarms, managing the event exactly as designed without blacking out the DC system. Copying settings from an online forum ignores the specific mathematical coordination required for the exact hardware in the room. When the grid fails, system reliability depends on the coordination between the inverter's software logic and the battery's specific chemistry.